Hi guys, Mike in the Woods here. If you're new to camping or don't have a lot of money to spend, access to really cheap camping equipment can often make or break someone's entry into the world of outdoors adventuring. And I feel like many people lose out on a lifetime opportunity due to financial reasons. So to help out, today I'm bringing you what I think are the top 10 camping equipment you can get at Dollarama for $4 or less. Number 10, food. One question that gets thrown around a lot is, what food would be good for camping? The answer is, when you're just starting out, any non-perishable food you can bring with you. Dollarama has quite a selection of simple canned and prepackaged foods. Cans of beans, ham and spam, soups, breads, and all sorts of goodies for the beginner camper. While not something you should subsist on long term, it provides a reasonable food source for short-term campouts. Just be wary of any dietary restrictions you have, and be mindful of the salt content. You can find this in the grocery section. Number 9. Cordage. Tying up tents, tarps, gear, and everything else needs quite a bit of cordage. Most people opt for paracord. While Dollarama does indeed have paracord, there's a multitude of other cordages that you can get that are lighter, cheaper, and will do you just fine as a beginner camper. Mason twine, jute, and rope of various sizes, depending on what you need. You can find this in the hardware section. Number 8. Camp gloves. I myself use a pair of these Stanley work gloves from Dollarama, and they've held up to multiple trips without complaint. Something simple, yet effective to prevent cuts and scrapes while performing camp tasks like chopping wood, setting up your fire, handling fish, and so on. They're cut resistant, have a coated rubberized grip, and come in various sizes. You can find these in the hardware section as well. Number 7. Flashlights. Being able to see at night when there's no other light sources beyond what you bring with you is very important. In today's world of cheap LED-driven flashlights, you can get cheap light sources that run off common batteries like AA and AAA, from rinky-dinky little palm lights to headlamps and large torch lights. You can find these in the hardware section too. Number 6. Dry bag. Inclement weather is an unfortunate event that happens during even the most well-planned camping expedition. Being prepared for it is important. With clothes, electronics, and anything else that you don't want to get wet, having a good dry bag to keep them safe in the event of rain, or even a dump overboard in the lake will keep you in the game. You can find these in the seasonal camping equipment section. Number 5. Magnesium fire starters, lighters, and matches. One of the most important bits of kit while you're out camping is having the ability to start a fire. At Dollarama, you can get matches, lighters, and these handy magnesium fire starters. I would recommend having all three so you have fire starting redundancy. To use, simply flake off a bit of the magnesium brick and then scrape the mounted ferro rod to get a quick reaction with the magnesium to assist in lighting your tinder. This can also be found in the seasonal camping equipment section. Number 4. Knives. While not the most durable or long-lasting of knives, you can get some basic, quick and dirty knives at Dollarama that will be good for simple camping tasks like cutting rope, shaving wood, prepping food, so on and so forth. They're good for a beginner camper, but don't expect them to last more than a couple trips, and I recommend having 2 so you at least have some redundancy. Dollarama usually has a few types available, so try to get one made of steel that's got a bit of thickness to it. You can find these in the kitchen section. Number 3. Water jug. Storing water while camping is important, and it can be a bit bulky having full-size jugs and bottles to lug around. To save space, these accordion folding water jugs are great for storing moderate quantities of drinking water while at camp. I actually have one of these myself for some of my trips. They seem to hold up well to repeated use, just keep away from sharp objects. You can also find these in the seasonal camping section. Number 2. Fishing gear. The fishing pros will probably rip me apart for this, but honestly, I think as a beginner camper with not a lot of money to spend, you'd get away perfectly fine with some of these fishing equipment from Dollarama. Things like fishing line, tackle, sinkers, and more. Just don't expect to be catching 20-pound fish. You can find this in the seasonal camping section as well. And number 1, a tarp. If you don't have a proper tent, are looking for a bit of extra shelter, or just really want to try out tarp camping, Dollarama has some classic ripstop style tarps in various sizes in blue. They even have grommets, though I would not expose them to high winds or strong pulling forces. Being what they are, they're relatively lightweight, waterproof, tear resistant, and great simple tarps for beginners or experts alike who aren't 100% focused on size and weight. You can find this in the hardware section. And that's my list. Simple but straightforward. One of the things I really want to explore with the channel is to show that camping doesn't have to be expensive and have a huge financial barrier to entry. Dollarama and other cheap equipment is perfectly fine as you get on your feet in the camping world, as long as you know what to expect from your gear and its limits. Work your way up to the more expensive stuff. Work with what you have, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. I hope this helped. As always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and links in the description to help out the channel if you're so willing. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.